can't even explain it. Nah, maybe it's the way you look in my eyes. How I feel is beyond words can describe. How you ignite this fire so deep inside. Got me hot like the sun.
What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Bain back again with another Insecure video, and in this video I am breaking down episode 7 from season 1. Let's get into it. Okay, so this episode is the setup episode because all the chickens is coming to roost. All hell is gonna break loose in the season finale. And in this episode, it's kind of like, it really definitely gives me the feel of like the calm before the storm. So in this episode, we're seeing Issa prep for and have her actual We Got Y'all donation event to try to get people to donate to their organization. She is leading it. This is a very pivotal moment for her, specifically within her career, because this is the first time that she's actually the organizer for the event, the one in charge, and she is taking charge by way of creative ideas as well, not just logistics. Like, she chooses a Baldwin Hills residence to have the event at, so that the black kids can see, like, this is a black neighborhood, you can actually achieve this. And I love the little quips from her co-workers throughout the episode, or at least when they're getting started for the event, because they're like, oh, I didn't even know this existed, and this is very nice, and this is so fancy, because they were all like trying to go to Malibu and like have the event in Malibu where they wouldn't be able to have the kids, and it was just so like clearly varying points of views, and you can see like how even her just pushing for this, fighting for this, and it coming out just the way that they expected or better really opened their eyes. But then also you kind of get the seeds of the conversation around gentrification, because she has a moment where she spazzes out. She's like, go away, like y'all gotta go, like don't start liking this neighborhood, because then you gonna move in here and there won't be no place for no black people to go anyway. But I love that, little bits of that. But the overall for me, this episode was just, again, the setup for the season finale. Issa and Molly have a very interesting conversation early on. Molly arrives at the event early to try to help Issa set up, and then she brings up a conversation that she had with the mutual friend that they used to run the streets with, and that girl confided in Molly like, oh, I'm in therapy and I'm getting myself together because child, I was doing too much. And Molly is relaying this story back to Issa, and like basically from the point of view of like, girl, she's in therapy now, something's wrong with her, or something's wrong with therapy. But Issa is very much so of the point of like, yo, like it maybe could help, maybe you should consider it, like therapy isn't necessarily a bad thing. And Molly instantly gets an attitude, and it's just like, girl, you and your attitudes and your moods and your switches and like being so hot and cold, I can't. Like, I think that this is where I started to like really be like, all right, Molly, I don't know if I can do this with you, sis. Because while you cannot really understand therapy or the power in therapy, or have your residual cultural view upon therapy, right? Because it's long said that a lot of black people look at it like, we don't go to therapy, we got Jesus, we can have therapy in Jesus. Be clear, therapy has helped me quite a bit as I was going through life, specifically in my 20s, and just navigating specific traumatic incidences and healing from childhood trauma. So y'all don't sleep on therapy. But Molly is definitely of the camp in this moment of like sleeping on therapy when she is one of the people within the friend group who needs it the most. It's so crazy. It's like she's so adverse to it. Meanwhile, you are the person who cannot fully see yourself, cannot fully figure out what you want and who you want, also has a very skewed idea around love, relationships, and interpersonal connections, because one of the first things that you go to do with people is to have sex with them, and you don't even know them, you haven't even really figured out if you like them. Like Molly, girl, there's a lot of stuff that you really need to unpack in therapy. So the fact that you out here acting a fool, getting an attitude with Issa, and then getting an attitude with Issa to the point that she starts to shit on Issa's event, talking about the bartender, talking about there's no fine men there, talking about all the things that don't matter. Is she getting donations? Yes, she is. Is everybody having a good time? Yes, they are. Does everything look great? Yes, it does. Like, really, Molly? It makes me nervous when you have really, really close friends who at a drop of a dime can give you snake energy or can totally switch up. Like, that feels very much so like you always been a hater. And if y'all watch my All-American breakdowns, I got that energy from Coop in season 3, and it really pissed me off, because I don't like that when you have somebody that's really close to you that probably knows where all of your damn skeletons are buried, and they display that they will go and dig all them hoes up. that ain't some stuff that you can really ever come back from. So tread lightly, Molly. Tread your ass lightly. Now, before I say too much in the We Got Y'all donation event, I want to go back a little bit and talk about Issa. Lawrence actually, at the start of the episode, we see them waking up, and Lawrence is still, he's up because he has his interview, but then also he's probably thinking about the phone. And last night with Issa, seeing that Daniel had texted her, and Issa wakes up and she's trying to reassure him, getting him ready for his interview, giving him really great girlfriend energy, right? Literally doing what she probably should have been doing this whole entire time. But, you know, I digress, honey. So they start the day off pretty good, and Lawrence goes to his interview, actually kills the interview, gets a job offer on the spot, and then we catch up with them a little bit later on, and they're talking about it. And Lawrence is amped, right? As he should be. This is one of the things that he's been waiting for over the last 2 years, and it's been a long time coming. He literally humbled himself and went to work at Best Buy in the meantime recently, just because he was tired of the same old, and wanted to really help move himself forward, but also get his relationship out of the rut that it was in. Okay, cool. But at some point through the conversation, he also starts to have a conversation about, well, they are so far behind me. Like, they're offering me a job right now, but they're so far behind me in development. Like, I should really just focus on my app. And I think that this is a beat where I guess Lawrence was wanting Issa to be like, yeah, don't take the job and work on your app. But I can understand why she didn't, yo. I would not want to go back there either. I think the way that Issa worded it was kind of like weird. And while she didn't give him an ultimatum, it definitely felt ultimatum me, because she's like, do you really want to go back to how things were? And it's like he has to make a choice between taking this opportunity or going back to them being unhappy, him sitting on the couch, and then, you know, them repeating this whole cycle again. The way they did the scene honestly was masterful, because it really built tension, and it helped build the subtext of like Lawrence not necessarily getting everything that he wanted, so it could make sense of like what we're going to see what comes next. But I just was watching like, god damn it, can we find a way to support him in his dream a little bit harder, besides telling him the truth, even though he needed to know the truth. Like, he really needed to take that job, point blank period, because while you might have been ahead of them 2 years ago, you're not now, and you don't have the money that they have. So like, let's not even do this, Lawrence. Let's not make no crazy wild decision. So we definitely get to see that. And again, those are just seeds that get planted on Lawrence's end. And then we're back to the event, and Daniel shows up. This is the most awkward shit, I swear. But Lord, it's good TV. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's great TV. Daniel shows up, and honestly, I'm gonna say that this is 100% Issa's fault, y'all. Because it's been 3 weeks and she has not returned a call or a text. Does she owe Daniel anything? No. But she could at least told him this was a mistake. Or not even that. She could have told him, I need time, I need space, I will call you. She could have said something. She ain't say nothing, so you cannot be surprised at the pop-up when you don't say nothing. And then what? You put him into your work ecosystem because you had him come and speak to the kids, so he got invited by your job naturally. So that's it, that's all. Now, what he what he came for, I mean, that definitely is on him. But I'm just saying, him actually popping up, part of that is on Issa. Why did they have to talk about this goddamn window? Y'all, the way that they did these scenes at this moment with Daniel, I just felt like it was so expertly done. It was so good, because Daniel and Issa have a conversation about what happened. Issa is completely insensitive to his feelings and is really just laser focused on trying to get him out of there without blowing up her whole spot. So she could have had a much more mature conversation, but she's too focused on the event and not getting caught by Lawrence, because Lawrence is there. Mind you, Lawrence is down on the level below, looking up through the window, seeing them talk, and you can see, you don't even need to hear their words. You can see the tension, you can see the stress, and you can see the vibes just by how they're actually interacting with each other. So he didn't even need to be in the room to know that something was going on. And he gets his confirmation when he follows Daniel outside to the valet and asks Daniel, like, yo, what's your connection to We Got Y'all? And he says he don't have one anymore. It's like, what you just watched was basically a breakup conversation, but the person that he had the conversation with is your girl. Fix it, Lord. Fix it, fix it, fix it. Please. Please, because Issa's having a wonderful professional life. Meanwhile, her personal life is on a slow burn, honey. on a slow burn. Now, we don't get the conversation with Issa and Lawrence until the very, very end, but at the event, we do get a conversation with Molly. And Molly really tripped me out because while she was being stank, when Daniel shows up and Issa looks visually like, oh, help me, I need help, oh my God, I didn't know he was going to come, she immediately steps back into best friend mode and plays buffer, which I'm proud of her for. But then she's still harboring at this event after Daniel leaves, like, this animosity for Issa for even suggesting the faint idea of like, oh, maybe Molly should try therapy. And it's like, girl, one, you can have this issue, we can talk about this later, but you having this issue and being all stank like this at my event is not going to work, especially after you just helped me try to diffuse the situation of some fuck shit that I've been in. Girl, like, what are we actually doing? Because it's really not about you right now. None of this should have been about you. Like, Molly should have showed up to this event to be Issa's friend. Regardless of what happened, they could deal with everything else afterwards, but her even try to confront Issa about the idea of Issa off, like telling her that she should try therapy. It's just like, Molly, girl, you just looking for a reason to be mad at this point. The same way that you were looking for ways to, like, well, she's not looking for ways to sabotage these relationships, but she just be doing entirely too much all the damn time. Like, girl, relax. Like, Molly even gets a prime example at this actual event when the teacher at one of Issa's schools comes over and tries to holler at her. And he's corny, of course. He is a bit thirsty, but she completely is rude and dismissive of him just because I guess he's too thirsty. And it's like, girl, the men who don't want you, you want them, but the men who want you, you don't want them. Girl, make it make sense. And at the very bare minimum, be cordial, be nice, like, be the woman that you actually try to say that you are all the time, and not flip in and out of these modes and moods that completely change your personality. And it's borderline trash, sis. All right, this is turning into a Molly drag session, so let me go ahead and keep it moving. Ugh, I forgot about this part, y'all. She then takes this as an opportunity to go back to Jared's house. And this is what I meant in my last breakdown. I believe I said this. Molly literally hears people's feedback about her, but then she takes a little nibble, a little piece, does not consume the whole thing, and like then goes back to doing some dumb crap. She goes to Jared's house and she's like, I realize this is me. It's my fault. I be doing too much. Yes, all of that is correct. All of that is correct. When it came to us, I really just should have lowered my standards. Whoa, sis, pull up. What are you even saying? What is actually going on? I can meet you on your level. Like, girl, what does that mean? You're gonna like. Then she says, I can't hang my life on trying to date the perfect guy, so I should have just been happy with you. Girl, get the hell off my porch, please. Jared was way more polite, but girl, get off my porch. I'm about to cut the sprinklers on. You better go. You better go. Cause no. Molly, what is, like, she literally fixed her lip to tell this man all of this. And shout out to Jared. Shout out to Jared for knowing his worth and choosing himself. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. That's all. We're done. Close this door. You don't even gotta say nothing to her. Ma'am, go ahead and figure out what you need to do on your own, because we can't do this. I'm even stressed just thinking about the very end of this episode and rewatching it. I just definitely held my breath. When Issa gets home, Lawrence, you too damn smart, bro. You too damn smart. He put two and two together like he was a mathematician, bro. He literally asks all the right questions. You know how women on a lot of these shows, when they try to catch somebody cheating, they ask all the wrong questions so the person could answer your questions truthfully but still be lying by omission because you didn't actually ask the question that was supposed to give you the answer you was looking for. Lawrence wasn't even having that. Issa walked through the door. Who's Daniel? I went to high school with him. He was there tonight. Yeah, he volunteered at We Got Y'all. Did you, Kim? Why would you ask me that? Because I am. Answer the question. Like, period. Like, and the Lawrence Hive was formed. On this night, the Lawrence Hive was formed. And I ain't even gonna lie, I signed up to be a member. Because you could just see all the pain, the frustration, the disappointment, the betrayal felt. Oh my God, Jay, you did a freaking amazing job. I love his, performance as Lawrence regardless, but this episode and this scene, you brought it home, brother. So we get a mini little back and forth. He got to kick over the table. He gets mad, grabs his keys, and he storms out, and we're left with Issa crying, sliding down the door, not knowing what's going to happen next. And like I said, y'all, we are set up to go right into this season finale. Child, I can't. That is my episode 7 from season 1 of Insecure Breakdown. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and join the tribe so that you don't miss any of my Insecure videos, as well as my other entertainment videos, because I'm posting new ones every single day. Get into it. Like, what are you waiting for? If you missed any of my videos prior, I do have my Insecure playlist link for you on screen. Go ahead and check it out, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.